Welcome back to Recreational Runner. I'm James, qualified leader in running fitness, and if you found my channel and you're interested in running tips, tricks and motivation, please consider subscribing. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about footwear. Ta-da! So stay tuned. If you're a beginner, footwear is a key subject when you start running. Catch you in a minute.
Everybody shake it, baby. Everybody shake it, baby.
I'm in a lot of running groups on Facebook, namely my own one, the Recreational Runners. Please join if you're a new runner and you're interested in getting motivation, hints, tips and tricks from other runners. Loads of coaches in there as well. There's a lot, obviously because of the pandemic and lockdown, there is a lot of people saying they've started running for the first time outside in years and years and years, and they're getting aches and pains. And a lot of people have been talking about blisters and sore knees and sore shins and aches and pains generally. Now, a key thing to all of that, there could be lots of reasons, by the way, and if you've got a serious ache or pain anywhere and it's not getting better after rest is always the first thing, but if it's not getting better after rest, then seek professional advice from a physio, a sports physio, or even a doctor. However, footwear is key. One person I was speaking to on a forum a few days ago talked about going out in a pair of trainers they've had for 8 years, and they just started running and they've got sore knees. They probably need some new trainers. There's probably very little support, and most of us, when you go out running, you'll be running on concrete, so you're pounding the concrete. It's unforgiving, so you need to consider some good footwear. So what do you need to do first? Hit the trails, nice and soft and scenic, but not if you're a first-time runner. You might not feel safe doing that, so you're sticking to footpaths, you're sticking to built-up areas, which is the right thing to do when you're first running. You don't know how tired you're going to get. You don't know if you're going to become vulnerable. You may already feel vulnerable out running on your own during lockdown. So stay safe, definitely. But look at your trainers. Have you got dedicated running trainers, or are they just a pair of old trainers you've always had? Everyone's advice will be you need to get some proper dedicated running trainers. Now, the best thing to do in an ideal world is have a thing called GAIT analysis done. I'll put a link in the description of the video that will tell you an article all about GAIT analysis, what it's for, what it means, all the science behind it. It's essentially the way your ankle rolls, the way your foot lands, etc. whilst running. And it can denote two main types of trainer. You either need a support trainer or a neutral trainer. A support trainer is just about having some kind of rigid platform embedded in the foam of the trainer to keep you supported. A neutral will have pretty much just foam, maybe some kind of plate in there as well. And all different makes and brands and models will have different densities of foam. It's a minefield, right? But the first thing to do is find out whether you should be looking at support to begin with. There's a whole school of thought about mixing your trainers up, so you're not always running in the same trainers, the same one pair, but also the same type, even if you've got a few different pairs. If they're all stability or all neutral, then you're not really strengthening muscles in different ways and working muscles in different ways. So it's a good idea to mix it up from a stability and neutral point of view as well. But you're a new runner, you're a beginner, you just need one decent pair to start with. I've been running over 8 years properly, and for the first 4 years I had one pair of trainers that when they ran out, I just bought another pair of trainers when the soles were worn. And I did that for 4 years before I spoke to anybody or realised it's a good idea to mix it up and have different types of trainer for different events I was doing as well. But you don't need to worry about that. You just need a decent pair of trainers. So you can't get your gait analysis done right now because shops are shut. There may be some open that are doing it, I don't know. But on the whole, they're shut. So there's another thing you can do called the wet test, the wet foot test. Get out of the bath, the shower, or just wet your feet and look at your footprint. And it will give you a rough idea whether you need support or neutral shoes. Now, in the link, the whole article I've already said will explain all of that. But that is my top advice. Do the wet test right now. Order some shoes online. I've put a link to a website. I haven't got any affiliation links or sponsors by this website. It's just one I use a lot and I'd recommend it. sportshoes.com. And loads of choice. You can search by neutral, support, trail shoes, all kinds of different things. But just do the basics. Get some decent shoes. And my last bit of advice when you're buying shoes online is it's tricky to get the sizing right, because ideally you want to go in a shop and try loads of different pairs. And when the shops are open again, that's what you should definitely do, because you might just like a brand, you might like a colour, you might like a make, you might read a review, but everybody's different. So listening to other people and your friends saying, oh, I run in Mizuno because they're fabulous, I run in Brooks because they're the best. No, it's a personal thing. Only you know what trainers are right for you, and you will only know that when you try them on and actually when you're running them for a few miles. So, but right now, I just want you to get some decent trainers if you're out there during lockdown, because you could be risking injury, and you want to add half a size to what you normally would wear on a normal trainer, your normal everyday trainers, because when you run, your feet will swell a lot more than just walking or doing cross training or something. So you want that extra room. You don't want your toes rubbing on the end of the trainers. Every brand is obviously going to be different. So the other bit of advice I would give is do some research online about, once you've narrowed it down to a couple that you like, read some reviews, Google them, watch some YouTube videos. There's loads out there reviewing trainers and talking about how they fit and all sorts of stuff. So get some advice there. And finally, ask your friends if anyone's got them, how do they come up size wise, before you buy them. The last thing you can really do is maybe buy two sizes, one the size you think and one half a size bigger. Get them both delivered and then send back the ones that don't quite feel right. But you want at least a thumb's width at the end of the trainers when you push down. Anything less than that, you're asking for trouble. So, but the important thing is get yourself some dedicated running trainers if you're a beginner, because you will just feel amazing in them, and long term you're going to be able to run better and stay injury free. So I've waffled on this one. Let's end it there. Please, if you've enjoyed the video, found it useful, like it, subscribe, hit the notification bell. More beginners tips coming soon in this series. Finally, happy running.